Here is everything you need to know about the law of assumption by Neville Goddard to actually apply it in your life so that you can create your dream reality. Hi, I'm Danielle. I'm a wellness counselor, and I help women self-heal and align with their highest self through clinical psychology, energy work, and neuroscience. And today I'm going to break down what I want to call like the secret little key of the law of assumption that I discovered in my own personal life that kind of unlocks the law of assumption's power. Because I see so much manifestation information on the internet, and if you are clicking this video, then you probably also see that all over your feeds. And sometimes it can be a little oversimplified or overgeneralized, and it doesn't actually break down how to apply it in your own personal life for it to work. And I've listened to Neville Goddard's teachings, Joe Dispenza's teachings, and sometimes it clicks and sometimes it doesn't. But every single thing I've learned about co-creating your dream life or just working with the energies that are all around us has always come from practice and play and curiosity and taking the teachings and taking the principles and morphing them into my everyday life and seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, and then tweaking it to my own lifestyle. So that's kind of what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about how I stumbled upon the deeper meaning behind Neville Goddard's law of assumption and feeling is the secret. But first, let's take it back and let me explain what is the law of assumption. So the law of assumption says that what you assume about yourself and the world directly shapes your reality. So essentially, what you believe to be true in your subconscious mind is going to actualize and materialize in the physical world. This means that you can consciously change your reality by changing your inner assumptions. So essentially, you are believing that your desires have already come to be. And that sounds really great. That sounds really easy. It sounds so simple. I just close my eyes and I assume that I'm a millionaire, or I assume I have the love of my life, or I assume that I live in Italy and I'm just drinking Aperol Spritz all day. But if you ever actually tried it, it's a lot harder to trick yourself into believing something that you can't actually see. So it ends up creating a lot of internal resistance and struggle. The second big part of Neville Goddard's teachings is feeling is a secret. And what that is this. It says that feeling is the bridge between your desire and your manifestation. So it's not enough to just assume you're rich. You actually have to feel rich in order for you to manifest that in your reality. And again, that sounds great, but how do you actually feel as if you have something that you just don't have? Like you can't see it, you don't actually have it. How do you feel as if? And this is a little nugget of wisdom that I want to impart on you that I have learned from accidentally stumbling into this in my own reality. I just recently manifested something really, really big in my life. And no, it wasn't because I closed my eyes and I pretended. And it wasn't because I forced myself to feel what it would be like if I already had it. It's actually a combination of those things and something even deeper. So here is a big thing that I've learned. When Neville Goddard says that you need to assume as if you've already had it, he's not talking about assuming that it is the moment in time in which you achieved that thing. It's you need to assume that you've already had this, or you need to assume that this has been in your life for a very, very, very long time. Like it's just obvious. It's as obvious that I have brown hair or that I can breathe. I think of it as like this. When you wake up in the morning, if you are able to see, right? You wake up and you just assume that you have eyes and you'll be able to see and go about and do your life. You don't wake up, open your eyes and say, oh my God, I am so grateful that I can see. I mean, maybe we should start doing that. Maybe we should start being more grateful for our eyesight. But the fact remains, when something is just a given, it's not something that you're thinking about. And so what I see people get tripped up with, especially my clients when it comes to the law of assumption, is that they are trying to walk around and convince themselves over and over and over again that this is their reality. When really it needs to be very subtle and it needs to be something that doesn't take up a lot of time. Let's say you are trying to co-create a relationship, a really fulfilling, happy, loving relationship. If you were to use law of assumption, you'd begin to assume that you have this partner in your life, you get to text them, you go on dinner dates, all of these things. But then when you lump in feeling this a secret and you really try to embody the emotion of what it's like to be in that relationship, you don't always hit the mark. Because what you're doing is you're forcing yourself to feel a level of gratitude that is disproportionate to if this was a given, if this was just obviously in your life. Maybe in the beginning, you feel elated and super grateful all the time that you have this person, but that's also the beginning stages of a relationship. If this person really is your lifelong partner and it's a stable, long, loving, awesome relationship, then what I want you to do is connect more with the version of yourself that's like celebrating a 10-year wedding anniversary, that you just wake up and you just know that person's in your life. And so really think about the thing that you want and really think about how you would feel, not when you get it. That's where I see people mess up because the emotion is just so high. How would you feel 10 years after you got it, right? You wouldn't be thinking about it a lot, and it would be a really subtle emotion. Like, for example, if you're rich, if you have $1 million, you make $1 million a year, and that's just normal. Every year you make $1 million, you don't even think about it, right? You're not thinking every single time you spend money on something, I am so grateful I have money to spend on this coffee. Or every time you receive a big sum of money from your job, whether it's a salary or a client, if you're an entrepreneur, you're not thinking, oh my God, I'm so grateful for this client, right? Maybe in the beginning you are, and gratitude definitely is something that connects you with a higher frequency so that you can co-create. But once it's a given, you're not really thinking about that. And so here's how I accidentally manifested something really big by using the law of assumption and feeling this a secret in a really subtle way. I tap into the, oh yeah, energy. So if you're rich, you just remember, oh yeah, I have all this money. Oh yeah, I have this husband. Oh yeah, I have this car. Oh yeah, I live in Italy, right? You're tapping into that future higher version of yourself that has already maintained this thing in their life for a very long time. And then you're going about your day and you're like, oh yeah, I have this thing and I'm so grateful for it. But it's subtle. It's not bringing your nervous system from here to here. Excitement and anxiety are very similar physiologically. So if you are anxious that you don't have a partner, or if you are anxious that you don't have enough money to pay your bills, or you're anxious about XYZ, and you are trying to use these manifestation principles to obtain that reality, and you are trying to use the law of assumption and feeling is the secret, and you are trying to get yourself to feel super excited, super abundant, super loved, all of these things to the extreme, this level of excitement is too similar to anxiety that your systems may not realize it. So your systems are still anxious, your systems are still stressed, and you're trying to force yourself to feel happy and grateful and excited about something, but those emotions are just, they're too elevated. And so the subtle, oh yeah, energy still allows you to tap into the higher frequency of gratitude. Gratitude doesn't mean that your energy is up here, right? It means that your frequency is high, right? And it can be subtle, it could be gentle, it could be effortless to just say, oh yeah. And so that's what I want you to practice tapping into. But first, I want you to practice doing it with things that you actually literally already have in your life. So a bed, a phone, a TV, right? Those things. Like when you go to turn on the TV, I want you to ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? Right? You're going to be like, oh yeah, I have a TV and I'm really grateful that I get to unwind and watch Love is Blind on TV before I fall asleep with my ice cream. Oh yeah, I'm able to purchase ice cream and have dessert and I'm so grateful for that. Or you're going for a run and pause and just say, oh yeah, I have legs and I'm physically strong and capable and I'm healthy and I'm so grateful for that. And you'll notice it's subtle, but it's real and it's deep. And then when you have those moments of, oh yeah, about something you already have, I want you to then stack on a manifestation that you want to create using that same subtle, calm energy, because this is the real secret, okay? The law of assumption, feeling is a secret. What you feel is peace. What you feel is content. When you've already obtained something and then maintained that in your life, you feel normal. You feel peaceful. You feel content. You don't feel like there are rainbows and sparkles everywhere. You don't feel like your level of gratitude and excitement is up here. You just feel like, yeah, this is awesome. So whenever you naturally feel that emotion of peace and gratitude in that like simpler way, then you lump on those other things. So let's say you're trying to attract a relationship, right? If you're going for a run, tap into the, oh yeah, I'm healthy. I'm so grateful that I'm healthy. And oh yeah, I have a husband at home that I love so much. And then move on with your day. Don't think about it after that. Don't focus so much on trying to obtain this thing. Just let it be that subtle passing thought a few times throughout the day or a few times throughout the week. And then notice how your nervous system relaxes. Notice the things that happen afterwards, because that's exactly what happened to me. I just was oh-yeahing myself into one of the biggest things I've ever gotten to create in my life. And that's the lesson I learned. That's the lesson I learned from it. That is what I have been working with all of my clients on, is really getting their nervous system to feel safe and peaceful in where they're trying to expand. So that's all I have for you. That is me kind of breaking down the law of assumption, feeling is the secret, in a little bit of a different way so that it's more applicable to you. I hope it helped you. I hope it made a little more sense. And I hope that this gives you hope that even if you've been trying to manifest for all of this time and it's not working, that all it takes is a little bit of a reframe or a mindset shift, and then it'll click into place for you. Because I was definitely getting discouraged and really overwhelmed and annoyed that nothing was moving. And then all of a sudden, like a dam breaking, just everything moved into place. So I believe that that will happen for you. I trust that it's possible, and I hope that you feel the same way as well. So that concludes today's video. If you liked this style of content, if you liked this topic, you want to learn more, feel free to stick around and subscribe, like, comment, all of that YouTube stuff. And if you're interested in going even deeper into the energy work and the mindset work of manifestation and healing your nervous system, then I encourage you to check out the Energy Reset. It is a guided meditation bundle I started to make for my clients, and I am putting it out there so that everyone can start to achieve the really grounding, healing benefits of meditation. The link is in the description. And with that said, I will see you in the next video. Bye!